At least one version of the game starts out with this bottle segment, whereas other versions have it as an option, and some don't even have it at all. It's just target practice. Nothing's at stake.
Try another one. Nice shooting.
Some versions start with this scene.
Hi, you're new around these parts. You heading into my daddy's town? He's the mayor. Well, if you are, you better take up some target practice first. There's a mean bunch that showed up, and I'm scared. Well, you best set your sights. I'll see you back in town.
And some versions just simply start here.
Stranger! Stranger! Howdy, stranger. We need your help. Mad Dog McCree's gang is taking over the town. The mayor and his daughter have been taken hostage out to Mad Dog's hideout. Sheriff, he's locked up in jail. We're going to have to get him out to help with the gang. Can you help? Good. One more important thing.
Hey, old codger! Don't tell him a thing!
Ready or not, the game has begun. But first things first, there's a cow skull on the left. You don't actually need to shoot this guy. If you don't, it just brings the scene to a premature end. Don't be so dramatic, you're gonna live. The game will just simply advance, so you can skip ahead. On some versions you'll lose a life, and at least the DVD version makes saving the prospector mandatory. Anyway, if you do shoot him, now you'll definitely want to shoot this guy, since he'll shoot both of you, so you'll also lose a life no matter what version you're playing. Although you still won't have to replay the scene.
Hey, now that's good shooting, stranger. Hey, what I was going to tell you is the keys to get the sheriff out of jail are with One-Eyed Jack. And he's in the saloon drinking. Now go get him.
Man, he's awfully enthusiastic. Now you're free to choose where you want to go, but you have to go everywhere anyway. With one exception, it makes no difference what order you tackle these in. If you save the prospector, you'll know which one. But first, might as well cover the showdowns. They can randomly happen pretty much any time the scene changes. When you go from one major scene to another, after losing a life, after using a continue. In some versions, they only occur after you continue. First, you get one of 3 random intros.
You just jumped from the frying pan into the fire. You dusted Crazy Sam's brother. Now the crazy varmint's waiting for you over yonder. You think you're in the middle of a hurricane now? It's time for a showdown, ain't it? It's showdown time, stranger. So holster your iron. We're gonna see how fast you can draw. You'll either be mighty quick or, well, that's why we gotta boot Hill.
Then the game chooses a random showdown. They're not linked to the intros at all. They're not mandatory. If you lose, the game proceeds anyway, although depending on the version you might get stuck in a loop. I don't need to mention that the showdown scenes use showdown mechanics, right? Some versions don't use this in the rotation.
Holster that gun and get ready to draw.
There's a cow skull on the cart, but it doesn't seem to work in any version that actually has this scene. Don't put that gun down yet. In the DVD version, you don't have to shoot him again. The game does that automatically. Unfortunately, we will never know which one of these guys was Crazy Sam, nor will we ever know who his brother was. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. I'll just choose an arbitrary order. Some versions of the game have an alternate scene. The scene you get is randomly chosen. Might be preset in some versions. Here's the scene that all versions have. There's a cow skull here. Doesn't work on all versions, though.
You looking for trouble, stranger?
Next, you're going to want to shoot in this upper window. Don't ask why, just do it. Need a reason? That's why. Then again, this gets you a trophy on the PS3 version. This is the alternate scene that your version might have instead. Once again, cow skull.
Holster that gun and get ready to draw.
This is a showdown. As with the original scene, you're going to shoot in the window afterwards. So yes, this scene is a fusion of the showdown and the corral scene. Weird, right? Cow skull. Now the scene becomes random, but on some versions the scene starts random. There are 6 possibilities. This guy again. Do note that his fixed appearance does not count as part of the random set. This guy makes more noise than everybody else, which is good, because he can be really hard to spot depending on version. At least the SEGA CD has the decency to mark him. This guy is about as hard to spot, but doesn't make as much noise. This guy's still sneaky, but he's far easier to spot. Eventually the scene goes back to fixed. And done. This scene plays the first time you come to the sheriff's office. You won't have to redo it after you complete it, but on some versions, this scene doesn't play if you come here before completing the saloon. Cow skull, you might not be able to shoot this until the camera changes. Second scene depends on when you came here. If you come here before clearing the saloon, you get this one. That's a spittoon, but I don't think it works on any version of the game.
Oh, thank God you're here. Look, you gotta get me out of here, but you gotta get the keys, and they're with One-Eyed Jack, and he's drinking over at the saloon.
Now this part was creative. You can't shoot all these guys. Shoot the sign instead. You'll be back at the menu, but the scene's not complete. PS3 version gives you a trophy for meeting the sheriff early, regardless of whether or not you survive the ambush. If you return for whatever reason, scene replays again. However, the PS3 version omits the ambush if you've already done it. They probably did this because it would be a really easy way to get the 12 Coffins trophy. If you come here after completing the saloon, you get this scene. There's the spittoon again, but this time it'll work, though only in certain versions.
Behind the door! He's got a gun! Thank God you're here with the keys. I gotta get out of here. Mad Dog, you don't stand a chance. Let's go get him, stranger. I got him. Hey! Oh. The map to the hideout's in the mine, but you've got to talk to the prospector first.
Well, he managed to kill 2 bad guys. It's not bad for a red shirt. And done. Cow skull. You just walked by another cow skull, but it doesn't work on any version as far as I can see. And then there's another one in the very next part that doesn't work either.
Looking at my keys, stranger? You wouldn't be trying to get the sheriff out of jail now, would you? Jocko! Show him what we did in trouble.
Now this is different. Jocko won't shoot you. He'll shoot the bartender. But you still gotta shoot him. Otherwise, Jack will shoot you. Yeah, we really plugged those guys. Now pour everyone a round of... Oh, right. We didn't think this one through. But you can shoot him before or after shooting the bartender. Now you can shoot One-Eyed Jack. Don't feel too bad. You'll see him again someday. But that's a different game. What happens next depends on how fast you shot Jock off. The DVD version doesn't have any nuance when it comes to timing, so the scene you get appears to be random. I haven't found any rhyme or reason to it.
Thank you, stranger. I think you'll be needing these.
And that's one way to clear the saloon. On the PS3 version, you even get a trophy for doing it this way. Kind of cold-blooded, don't you think? Alternatively, if you save the bartender...
Thanks, stranger. I'll forever beholden to you. I know you're looking for Mad Dog. But remember one thing. He wears a bulletproof vest. And here's the keys.
And that's the other way to do it.
There's more inside!
This part is random. There are 6 possibilities here. Spittoon. He takes the longest to fire, so I wouldn't worry about him too much. I don't know why these guys bother wearing masks. The gang is openly terrorizing the town, so I don't see what the point is. Okay, this deserves saying. Don't shoot. Doesn't matter how good of a shot you are. The only thing you'll accomplish is hitting the hostage. The last part is fixed. The next scene you get is random, so pay attention.
Mad Dog will get me for telling you this. But if you get to the hideout, don't approach from the front! Mad Dog will get me for telling you this. But if you get to the hideout, don't approach from the rear!
And done. Since the PS3 version divides the game in half, I suppose I'll do the same for this walkthrough.